Okay.
messages. That's
And does it
basic-
change with ages? So I'm thinking of if I'm trying to convince teenagers not to smoke,
Yeah.
what is the best message for that? And is
We haven't seen too many age differences, but then we haven't looked at it so systematically. I know
Okay.
with adolescent smoking cessation as well as adult smoking cessation, positive messages work better. That might also be because you hear they're different.
right?
So you know that smoking causes lung cancer, but what you might not know is that quitting smoking will give you more energy, make you run faster, jump higher, perform better athletically.
Okay.
And that sort of stuff. That's a more unusual message, and that might be why it's effective.
And, having been a teenager who smoked, I know the reason that I did it was because I thought it made me look older and more desirable to
Right.
boys.
Right. And
So- So if you have to appeal, if you have to know obviously the emotions of the people that you're dealing with as well.
yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That's right. It's all contextualized.
So I kind of was going to ask, and then I think we've answered, what are the different applications for studying this?
Yeah. So we've looked at emotional intelligence and tried to measure these skills and do interventions
Okay.
in schools. Right now we have a variety of projects with middle school students,
Okay.
in adults, in the workplace, but also in family life. And so we believe that that emotional intelligence are a set of skills that are teachable and learnable. And if you learn them, you can perform more adaptively, more functionally in all of those domains.
Okay. And that, I know that it has been kind of controversial. Are emotional skills something that can be learned? And from what I'm hearing from you is you believe that they can be.
I absolutely believe they can be. There is certainly a genetic component to all this, temperament, the tendency, for example, to approach things that are novel versus feel more fear and anxiety.
Right.
That has a strong genetic component. But that doesn't mean that the skills involved in emotional intelligence, understanding somebody else's emotions, your own emotions, using language to describe them, regulating your own emotion, that those can't be learned.
Okay.
So the genetics may give us a starting point, but then there's an awful lot of learning that we do anyway through our lifetime, and that we can do
Right.
explicitly through an intervention program.
And I've heard the term, brain plasticity, especially when it applies to children.
Yeah, the brain is always changing. We didn't realize this until the last 10, 15 years, that the environment and our environmental change, learning, all is changing the function of areas of the brain. We can regenerate neurons. We can parts of the brain can switch in their functionality when there's damage. In other words, there can be compensation or compensatory brain function. So all of this suggests that nothing is set in stone
Okay.
in this area.
What do you believe is the biggest contribution your work has been on the world, and what is your legacy?
Well, it would seem presumptuous to answer that question directly, given that I'm hoping to do this for another 20, 25
Well, I'm
years.
hoping so too.
But I think we've tried to present a model of what emotional intelligence is that is straightforward, simple, easy to use, easy to understand, that is concrete, that provides a set of skills. It's not just anything good. It's an explicit set of skills.
Right.
I think also our measure, the Mesquite, is still, unfortunately, the only measure of emotional intelligence that actually measures skills rather than judgments of other people or self-report judgments
Right.
in assessing emotional intelligence. And we continue to look at what that measure predicts in lots of different domains and to publish in the scientific literature. And so I'm hoping we can continue to put some scientific meat on the bones
Okay.
of emotional intelligence, and in that way help practitioners and educators and people in human resources management do their jobs better.
Okay. I told you a little bit that I'm studying emotions and trust, and you had said that it wasn't something that you were working on right now, but you're the expert, and I'd love your opinion.
Yeah, so
where you
yeah.
see the connection.
So emotions and trust. I mean, what makes somebody trustworthy? And,
Right.
Right. And I think one of the important elements in all this is the ability to empathize. So if I'm someone who can attend to your emotions, empathize with them, embody them, reflect them back to you, that may create the sense that I'm someone who can be trusted. Now, it's an open question whether, in fact, I can be trusted. But I have a feeling that's the building blocks for it. Would you really want to trust someone who didn't look like they were tuned into your emotions at all, couldn't take your perspective, couldn't imagine what you go through? That would seem to be the kind of person that you wouldn't trust.
Yeah, and I think at the very basis, if someone cares about me, then that, I think, has to be part of it. And that trust or low trust is the very definition of a really bad relationship.
Exactly. And so you can imagine people who you have a relationship with who don't ever look like they understand your emotions.
Right.
Who seem to have no ability to feel anything along with you, who don't make any effort to manage your emotions in a positive way. That is, to make you feel comfortable, to make you relax, to make you feel good about yourself and the interaction. That's probably not somebody you're going to trust very much. And yes, you're right. It's not someone you're going to probably find it easy to establish a relationship with them.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for your time. I completely appreciate it. And I'll look forward to all of the future work that you're doing in emotional
Great.
intelligence.
Thank you so much. It's great to see you here in Chicago, as well as earlier in Halifax and in New Haven. It's great to see you again.
Thank you. Bye.